Poštovani gledaoci, dobroveče. Naš večerašnji gost spada u red visokih američkih dužnosnika koji se bosanskim problemom bave skoro 10 godina. Službeno prvo u okviru projekta vojne stabilizacije na Balkanu, sada je kao zamjenik specijalnog izaslanika predsjednika Clintona i državne tajnice Albright zadužen za cjelokupan mirovni proces u Bosni i Hercegovini i na Kosovu. Vjerujem ipak, kažem li ambasador James Pardew, najbrža asocijacija je na program Opremi i obuči, što mu je nakon Daytona zbog dugogodišnjeg vojnog iskustva bila ključna zadaća. Richard Holbrooke, imenujući ga na to odgovorno mjesto, izjavio je da ga smatra najkompletnijom osobom za izvršenje zadaće formiranja i osposobljavanja Vojske federacije. Ambasador Pardew rođen je u malom gradu u Srednjoj Americi u državi Arkansas. Gotovo cjelokupnu karijeru ostvario je u američkoj vojsci, koju napušta 1994. godine i počinje raditi u uredu sekretara za odbranu, dakle u Pentagonu, da bi zatim prešao u civilnu službu. Njegov sadašnji ured nalazi se u State Departmentu. On o sebi voli reći da je jednostavan čovjek, drugi ga smatraju pragmatičnim. Razgovor čiji ključni dijelovi slijede vođeni uoči nove godine u Međunarodnom pres centru u Washingtonu. Program Opremi i obuči, dokle se stiglo, bilo je prvo pitanje.
The train and equip program is moving ahead. We still have some funding available, primarily in the training area. I think most of the equiping has been done, at least for this stage. We intend to continue the training aspect of that, which I've always thought was the most important part. Because a capable military force is not just the number of tanks and rifles that you have, but it's your ability to use them, the leadership and all of that. So we will continue with the training program for at least a couple more years. We have the funding available to do that. Did it succeed in everything that we set out to do? Nope.
Ne, ali
It's not
još
over.
nije gotovo. I postoje
there are certain
određeni
limits
limiti u
to how far
smislu
you can
koliko
go with the
daleko možete
military
ići
when the
sa
political
vojnim aspektom
situation
kada politička
is
situacija
not
nije u
right.
redu.
And
I trenutno
right
sada
now we
nemamo
don't have the
formirane
political
političke strukture koje bi u potpunosti
structures in
integrirale
place to
snage.
fully integrate
I to
the
je nešto
forces,
što
and
se
that's
treba
something that needs to
učiniti
be done
vremenom.
over time.
Ambasador Pardew priznaje da je u početku bilo veoma teško razbiti otpor u američkom ministarstvu odbrane, ali kaže to je bila predsjednička odluka, što samim tim znači da su iza programa Opremi i obuči stale Sjedinjene države uprkos protivljanju i nekih u međunarodnoj zajednici. Iako sam eksplicite pitala ko se ponaosob protivio, Pardew je odbio navesti imena, ali je dao pojašnjenje za opiranje u Pentagonu.
The Pentagon had a dilemma in that they had in one hand forces that were supposed to be neutral in the implementation of the Dayton Agreement. And on the other hand, a U.S. commitment in which the United States was not neutral. That is to say, we were providing military assistance to the Federation, specifically to the Bosniaks, inside of Bosnia. So the Pentagon wanted a separation between that program, the train and equip program, which was not neutral, and their forces, which were to implement Dayton even-handedly. So there was a separation there. But remember that $100 million in U.S. military equipment provided by the Pentagon, authorized by the Congress of the United States, was sent to Bosnia specifically for this purpose. The Pentagon supported that. They had no choice.
For us who are not into military, it is hard to understand certain things. But at the beginning it was meant to be two phases, the so-called build-up and build-down. There was compromise, as I understood reading Holbrooke's book, between those who were strongly opposed and those who were pushing to that program. Among them, I believe, it was you. Meaning, they wanted to a certain extent to send weapons to the weakest, and as a second step, reduce some weapons through arms control. It was understood that 5-2-2 concept would be established among Belgrade, Zagreb and Sarajevo. Is anybody still talking about this particular implementation? I mean, arms control.
I think there's a lot of discussion these days about reducing arms in Bosnia, and that's a good idea, but it ought to be done in a regional context. You can't go back to a situation that existed from 91 to 95 in which people could come in from outside Serbia specifically and provide arms to one side in Bosnia. And so I would support major arms reductions only in the regional context, because I think at the end of the day, you still need a means to defend the population in central Bosnia. Now, there have been some reductions recently. I think a 15% reduction, possibly another 15% reduction is coming. In the case of the Federation, that in fact will probably improve the force in that it will increase the level of competence of the force that's remaining, because perhaps some people who didn't need to be there any longer will be moved on. The force will become a little younger and more vigorous and more professional. And so the 15% reduction in the case of the Federation, working through MPRI and others, we've tried to guide that in such a way that it will in fact make the force better, not just smaller. Now, there is a serious budgetary issue, and it applies to all the forces in Bosnia. It's true in the Republic of Srpska, it's true in the Federation. Military costs are high, and it is a drain on the budget for a number of things that need to be done, social programs and so forth. But this is not a debate that's unique to Bosnia. I mean, it's true in the United States. How much money do you spend for defense? It's a serious, serious question. Ultimately, I think the people of Bosnia have to decide that. How important is their army to them, and what size that army ought to be. It should not be something decided by a bunch of internationals, I can tell you that. The stakes are too high.
It is hard to understand at this point two armies whose idea was initially to have to lead to those two, or rather three armies in Bosnia.
Well, no one desires to have three armies in Bosnia. So there are several things at play here. First of all is the fundamental right of the Bosniaks to defend themselves. It wasn't a fair fight. They needed to be able to defend themselves. But secondly, it was not possible in the Dayton process to negotiate away the military forces. First of all, the Bosniak side would not have agreed to that. I mean, the train and equip program was a condition for their signature at Dayton. And likewise, you would not have the other parties simply disarm either. And so it was not possible at Dayton to reach an agreement in which there would be no arms in Bosnia.
Was that turning point for Izetbegovic, for instance? He asked Perry precisely to say yes to that program, and then probably he was more convinced that you're going to stand and help Bosniaks to arm themselves. Was that a key moment over there, or one of the important moments?
Sure it was. President Izetbegovic said to me that it was fundamental to their agreement, to their signing of the agreement.
Some critics say if Bosnia is success, then it is success of a peculiar kind. How would you assess that?
Depends on what your criteria are. Bosnia was at war. It was a fractured society. It was not making any progress towards statehood, although it had been recognized as an independent state. A lot of that's changed. I mean, it is not at war. We have created, I think, a reasonable military balance there. Lots of institutions have changed. A lot of refugees have gone home, but not nearly enough. Much of the economy has been restored, not nearly enough. So Bosnia is a work in progress, a long way to go. And I think there are a couple of tests coming up. One of them is how the economy is restructured, and that is something that is dragged on way too long. There needs to be a significant restructuring of the economy. If you look around Sarajevo today, you don't see very much foreign investment. There are reasons for that. where there's not a banking system. The private property has not been adequate, has not been privatized. Property has not been privatized. You don't yet have a fully independent media. You have too much control of economic resources by political parties in all both entities. And so there needs to be a major restructuring of the economy. I think in the year 2000, you can see the United States push hard in that area.
Let's start with three things. Your goal was united country. Mm-hmm. That means the entities are not stronger than Bosnia, which is not the case over there. Secondly, your choice was multi-ethnic society, to restore multi-ethnic society, and refugees are not returning home. And thirdly, talking about reconciliation, the most wanted, Karadzic and Mladic, and plus Milosevic are at large. So, what is your, what would you say, what makes your glass half full rather than half empty, besides the fact that you stopped the war?
Well, and Envera, I could spend a lot of time talking about what needs to be done, and I'll point out some things. But I don't want to just totally overemphasize that, because a lot has been done. Let me start with the last point. General Galic is in The Hague. General Galic commanded the Romania Corps. He shelled Sarajevo from 92 to 95. The fact that the British have picked this guy up and hauled him to The Hague is a good thing. Now, we don't have them all, but we have grabbed up a lot more of them than we...
You said British. How about French forces doing anything? I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt.
I'm talking about Galic.
Okay.
He happened to have been
in the British sector.
In the British sector, and they have picked him up and done a great job of taking a significant indicted person indicted for war crimes and gotten him to The Hague. A number of others have been picked up as well. So it's not over.
Na moju konstataciju da se atmosfera u Republici Srpskoj, ako uopće, onda vrlo sporo mijenja. Dodik je tek dečko koji obećava, Pardew kaže.
What would you suggest as an alternative? There are many politicians in Bosnia who haven't done all the things that they need to do. A lot of them in the Republic of Srpska, many of them in the Federation. Mr. Dodik has been more pro-Dayton again than any other politician in the Republic of Srpska. And has he done everything that needs to be done? No, but he's not alone in that regard. And quite frankly, I think he shows promise and will continue to stay by him as long as he continues to support the Dayton process.
Who and when is going to arrest Karadzic? This is a simple question.
I can't answer that. No one can.
Milosevic is still a figure in Belgrade. So who is responsible to get Milosevic if not Karadzic?
I think you're being, again, a little bit hard on the international community. First of all, Milosevic has been indicted for war crimes. Secondly, you don't see the stream of international figures going to Belgrade that you saw from 91 to this year. Third, the sanctions fully supported by the European Union on Milosevic are extreme. NATO committed military forces in a 78-day bombing campaign against the army of Serbia. And so I think the international community has taken pretty harsh action against Milosevic and his cronies. Exactly when he will turn up in The Hague, I can't tell you that any more than I can about Karadzic. But that's the intention, that's the policy of the United States, and that's what we intend to try to do.
U američkoj javnosti bosanski problem smatra se manje više riješenim. Mnogi cijene da je Bosna završena priča, ali ambasador Pardew insistira na tome da je bosansko pitanje još važno predsjedniku Clintonu i državnoj tajnici Albright, iako to naravno nije prioritetna i jedina stvar kojom se bave. Kao poticaj mirovnom procesu, Amerikanci su krajem prošle godine inicirali Njujoršku deklaraciju. Na pitanje šta je urađeno, Pardew kaže.
Nisam došao ovdje sa detaljima ili podacima gdje se tačno nalazimo u pogledu Njujorške deklaracije. Ali ovdje se radi o najvišim političkim ličnostima iz Bosne koji su se pred Vijećem sigurnosti Ujedinjenih nacija obavezale na sprovođenje Njujorške deklaracije. Zar mi očekujemo da oni ispune te obaveze? dokle su s tim tačno došli
Where are
sada,
they
ne mogu
now
vam reći.
exactly? I can't tell you, but that is part of the evaluation process, and we will be judging the performance of these particular individuals on the basis of fulfilling their commitments. I mean, they did this in front of the entire world at the UN. That's a significant step. We expect them to follow through on it.
They signed Dayton Accord. They signed Dayton Peace Agreement before entire world, but we didn't have much improvement.
Well, you can take an absolute...
We are talking about promises. Do you have anything to push them? Do you have any leverage to do something if they're not willing to cooperate?
You can take an absolutist view that everything must be done immediately on a time schedule, but that's unrealistic. This is a political process of implementation. And everything won't go according to the schedule. But at the end of the day, as things progress, the question is, do people do everything that they possibly could to get this done? And you make judgments on the people and parties and the groups on where we are according to their commitments and their ability to implement them.
Na upit da li su Bošnjaci, recimo, za pregovora u Daytonu mogli proći bolje, ambasador Pardew odgovara lakonski da sve strane nakon pregovora ustaju od stola pitajući se da li se moglo postići više, ali bespredmetno je vraćati se natrag, kaže. Na upit da li je predsjednik Izetbegović bio obmanut kada je riječ o ofanzivi u Bosanskoj krajini, Pardew cijeni da je Izetbegović vjerovatno imao jasnu predstavu šta se dešavalo. Pitala sam kako Amerikanci u osnovi cijene Izetbegovića.
Izetbegović je herojski vođa svoga naroda i kao takav je priznat. Mi smo radili s njim nekoliko godina i uspješno smo sarađivali s njim. Prošle godine smo imali najveći broj povrataka izbjeglica od kako je potpisan Daytonski sporazum. Većina ih se vratila u područje federacije. Veliki broj njih se vratio u Sarajevo. Tako da je predsjednik Izetbegović uspješno radio sa nama na mnogim stvarima. Opet ja ne želim da se zadržavam na negativnostima, jer je bilo jako mnogo pozitivnih stvari. Da li postoji još stvari koje bi se moglo raditi? Sigurno da. Kao što sam ranije spomenuo, ekonomija je zaista jako važna. I mi se nadamo da ćemo sarađivati sa predsjednikom Izetbegovićem i njegovom vladom tokom nekoliko narednih mjeseci da bismo ispravili ekonomiju u Bosni i Hercegovini.
Straighten out the economy in Bosnia. We will also be working with the RS as well.
Some people still believe that Americans are holding Bosnia on the back burner, and some thought think that Bosnia is a dead story. Is it fair to say that Bosnia is not in spotlight? And some people think that Bosnia is already forgotten. How do you feel?
Well, Bosnia is not forgotten. Bosnia is important to the legacy of President Clinton. It's important to Secretary Albright. Both of them are engaged in Bosnian policy. I mean, President Clinton was recently in Sarajevo. But it's not the only thing that the United States has to deal with. I mean, we have had a war in Kosovo. There are other issues around the world that grab our attention. And so, Bosnia is not forgotten about. We're heavily committed to it. We will continue to be committed to it. The Secretary and the President are involved in it every day. But it is one of many things that the United States must deal with.
You mentioned free media.
Često ste spominjali slobodne medije. I zato bih vas htjela pitati o Bosni. Gdje je novinarska pozicija vrlo mučna? Novinari ubijaju, zar ne? Ili preciznije pokušali su. Istina je zapravo da se to desilo u Republici Srpskoj, ali ipak za mene to je zaista zastrašujuće. Čak iako to odavde djeluje toliko daleko. Kakva bi bila vaša procjena? Kako ljudi mogu imati jasnu sliku o onome što se dešava ako novinari strahuju da napišu ono što vide?
Well, first of all, journalism is a risky
novinarstvo je riskantan posao.
It's not a profession without both personal and political risk. I mean, we've had journalists in the United States killed because people didn't like what they've written or said in the media. I think the key to
Mislim da ključ u reformi medija je, ponavljam, da se mediji počnu finansirati iz izvora koji su izvan političkih struktura.
That's to me
To je po mom mišljenju osnovno osigurati finansiranje medija iz nezavisnih izvora i daleko od političkih partija.
Now that's easier said than done because that means that you have to have an economy that's supportive, that has the resources that can support independent media. Then you need the legal protection of journalists so that they can't be intimidated and influenced, and that they have legal recourse against those who seek to intimidate them. And then there's, of course, criminal penalties for anybody that tries to harm them. But there's no way that you can guarantee that there won't be any threat to journalists, because there are very high stakes involved in laying out the truth to the public. That's a very honorable thing to do, by the way.
I believe, Ambassador, that the Bosnians are grateful, and this criticism is rather on the scale that international community is measuring
A s druge strane, ne postoji nitko tko će reći ako je međunarodna zajednica doživjela neuspjeh. Stranci mogu biti tamo. I mogu pokušati. I mogu otići. Ali tko je taj koji će procijeniti što je međunarodna zajednica radila i uradila? Ko je nadležan?
Well,
who is the boss?
Having worked on this for a number
Pošto
of
sam
years
radio na
now,
ovome
I
već
can tell you
dugi
that
niz
there are no
godina,
shortage
mogu
of
vam reći
critics.
da nikad ne nedostaje
There are
kritika.
lots of people who
Ima
will
mnogo
be
ljudi
more
koji
than
su spremni
happy
da
to
stanu
stand
sa
off
strane i da
on the
kritikuju
sidelines
sve
and
i
critique
da govore
everything
kako
that's
je
been
ovo
done
ili ono moglo biti bolje urađeno.
and talk about how this could have been done better or that could have been done better. And in some cases I
I u
can
nekim
accept that.
slučajevima
In
ja
some
to mogu
cases
prihvatiti.
not so
U nekim
well, because the
slučajevima
question
baš
is
i ne
where were
mogu,
you when things
jer
were
pitanje je
happening.
gdje ste vi bili
So,
kada su se te
we'll
stvari
see, but
dešavale.
I don't think there's going to be
Tako da
any
ćemo
shortage of
vidjeti.
people
Ali ja
who
mislim
will
da neće
critique
nedostati
how
ljudi
well
koji će
the
kritikovati
United
koliko dobro
States,
su Sjedinjene Američke Države,
UN,
Ujedinjene nacije, NATO i
and others
ostali
have
uradili
done
svoj
there.
posao. Jer te knjige će
Those
biti
books will be
napisane u
written for
narednim
years to
godinama.
come.
Možda ćete i
Maybe
vi
you'll write
napisati
one.
jedno.
Whom you're counting on in
Na koga
Bosnia?
računate u
Do
Bosni?
people in
Da li
Bosnia
ljudi u Bosni znaju da mogu promijeniti
that they
liderstvo?
can change leadership, or you
Ili vi
believe
još
that
uvijek
they
vjerujete u
still
to da oni nisu
are not
svjesni
aware
svoje moći
of their power
što se tiče
regarding
glasačkih
voting
listića?
ballot?
One of the things that's puzzled me through all of this
Jedna
is
od
the
stvari koja
willingness
me
of some
zbunjivala
of
u
the
svemu
population
ovome je
in some cases
sklonost
to
dijela
follow
stanovništva u nekim slučajevima da
weak
slijedi
or
slabo
self
ili liderstvo koje samo sebe promovira.
leadership. I think part of that is a
Mislim da je dio
carryover
toga
from the
prenešen
old
iz
system.
starog sistema.
I think that people do
Mislim da
have to
ljudi moraju
understand
shvatiti da
that they do
imaju
have choices.
i mogućnost izbora.
I think the best the international
Najbolje što
community can do
međunarodna
over the
zajednica
next
može
few
uraditi
months
u
and
narednih
years is to
nekoliko
show,
mjeseci
is to give
je da
people
pokaže
choice.
da ljudima pruži
Let
izbor
somebody
i da
walk
omogući
into a
nekome da
voting
dođe na
booth,
biračko mjesto i da donese
and
odluku
make a
da
decision
li
as to whether
ova
this person or
ili
that
ona
person
osoba predstavlja
reflects
njegov
their
stvarni
real
interes.
interest. You've got elections coming up
Uskoro vam dolaze izbori u Bosni.
in Bosnia, and there's some
Također
elections
ima
in
izbora u
January, and then
januaru.
I think there are elections later
I
in
mislim
April.
da su izbori
Those are
ponovo u
very
aprilu.
important
To su
elections.
veoma važni izbori.
And what we
I
should
ono što bi
do
mi trebali
is
uraditi je
try
da
to
pokušamo
present
predstaviti
a
niz
series of
mogućnosti
choices.
izbora.
And
I onda
people
ljudi
need to
trebaju
look at
pogledati
those
ove pojedince koji se
individuals who are
kandiduju
running
za
for
te
those
položaje
offices
i dati im
and hold them
odgovornost
accountable
tako što će otići na glasačko mjesto i
by walking
označiti
in there
ili
and
staviti
pulling a
X
lever
u
or
kvadrat,
putting an X in a
označavajući
square,
time da je to osoba od
indicating that
koje
this is the
očekujete da će
person that you
zastupati
expect
njihove interese.
to support their
I ako to
interests.
urade,
And
i
if
ako su
they
im
do
pružene
that, and
mogućnosti
if
izbora,
they're given
mislim,
choices, I think
imam
I
povjerenja u
have
stanovništvo,
confidence in the
mislim da će
population. I think the
stanovništvo
population
uraditi
do the
pravu
right
stvar.
thing.
Ambassador, whenever I talk to
Ambasadore,
people
kad god
who
razgovaram sa ljudima koji
created
su stvarali
history of my
historiju
country in a
moje
way,
zemlje na neki
I
način,
always think that I would be
ja se uvijek nadam da
wiser
ću nakon toga
afterwards
biti
and
mudrija,
have that
otkriti tu
secret
ključnu tajnu riječi ili
word or
saznati što
secret
se stvarno
knowledge
odigralo u
what
Daytonu.
was happening in Dayton
I što će se
and
u
what is
buduće
going to
desiti.
happen. It is hard
Teško
to
je
expect,
očekivati, ali
but
ima li išta što
is
vas
there
nisam
anything
pitala,
I didn't
što biste
ask
vi
and you would
željeli
like to
reći,
say
pomoći
and
mi da
help
zadovoljim
to satisfy
sopstvenu
my
radosnost ili
curiosity,
radosnost
curiosity of my
javnosti u
people?
Well,
mojoj
I think
zemlji?
you're asking too much if you're looking
Mislim da
for a
tražite
simple
previše
solution here.
ukoliko očekujete jednostavno rješenje.
This is
Ovo je bilo jako teško.
this was very difficult. It was
Bilo je to
Bosnia in a sense is a
Bosna
victim
na neki način je žrtva uslova
of the
kakvi su bili na
conditions that
kraju
existed at the
20.
end of
stoljeća.
the 20th century. I mean, communism wall came crashing down.
Milošević je bio na vlasti. Nacionalističke vođe iskoristile su strasti nacionalizma da bi podržali sami sebe, da bi stvorili ovaj užasan rat koji je trajao predugo. I sada, kada smo od 1996. skoro 4 godine, skoro tačno radili na rješenju toga, mi smo upravo prešli liniju kada je period mira duži od perioda rata. Napravljeno je dosta napretka. Ovdje ne postoji jednostavno rješenje. Mislim, na neki način da je ovo generacijski problem. Novi lideri će se pojaviti. Možda ste vi jedna od njih.
Na kraju, što bi bio vaš osjećaj? Kako vidite budućnost Bosne i Sarajeva u tom smislu?
Vi ste me opisali kao praktičnog optimistu. Želio bih razmišljati o sebi kao tako. Mislim da postoji potencijal da Sarajevo bude otvoreni grad. Ja zaista vjerujem da se Srbi mogu vratiti u Sarajevo. Činjenica je da ih se mnogo vratilo. Također ima mnogo Srba koji su ostali u Sarajevu tokom cijelog rata. Zato mislim ako budemo imali pozitivnu promjenu vlasti u Beogradu, da to može ubrzati ovaj proces. Također se nadam da će ljudi u Srbiji uraditi pravu stvar i ukloniti Miloševića ili ga zamijeniti sa naprednim, demokratski orijentiranim vodstvom. Oni mogu vratiti čitavo ovo područje u normalno stanje. Šta znači normalno? To znači da bude dio Europske zajednice sa demokratskom vlašću, da ljudi imaju šansu tražiti zaposlenje i očekuju ekonomsku korist, kako bi djeca mogla dobiti dobro obrazovanje i naravno da ne brinu o prošlosti. To može biti teško raditi, ali mislim da je to moguće.
Dakle, nema teorije zavjere iza rata u Bosni.
Teorije zavjere? Ne. Rekao sam ranije, koncept teorije zavjere je izumljen u ovom području. Izgleda svi imaju teoriju o zavjeri. Uglavnom, kada ljudi pričaju o teorijama zavjere, uzimam to s rezervom, jer u većini slučajeva otkrivam da je to besmisleno. Morate raditi samo na stvarnim činjenicama kakve jesu, a ne tražiti skriveno značenje.
Hvala lijepo, ambasadore.
I to bi bilo sve. Zbog vremenske ograničenosti prezentirali smo vam suštinu razgovora sa visokim američkim predstavnikom zaduženim za nadgledanje provedbe mirovnog sporazuma, ambasadorom Jamesom Pardewom. Praktični optimist i predani radnik. Na pitanje šta ga se najviše dojmilo u mojoj zemlji, Pardew je kazao: ljudi, taj divni, jednostavan, pošteni svijet. Do narednog gledanja, toplo vas pozdravljam.